Hey everybody, in this lesson I want to cover something that I've never really touched on before, and that is when to hit down the line if you're at the back, so you're returning or in a cross court rally or something like that. I've talked a lot about being the net player and not covering the alley too much and controlling the center of the court, but I've never talked about if you're the back player, when should we go down the line? And I wanted to talk about that a little bit today because a few people have asked me that over the last several weeks. So, the first thing I'll cover is why we would ever even think about going down the line, why we'd want to do that. Then I'll cover where we should hit it from the deuce and ad court when we do go down the line. And then I will give you a few times that I personally like to go down the line. And what you'll learn is it's not very often. And there's a few reasons for that. So let's dive into it. So the first thing is why go down the line. So we might go down the line because we have a short ball, maybe we have a short forehand, and we just feel really confident that we can win the point that way. Maybe the person cross court that's deep over here to our left is the stronger player, and we're trying to target the weaker player at the net. Maybe we're having trouble out rallying this person, so we want to mix it up. Maybe the person at the net's being super aggressive and we want to kind of keep them honest. I know a lot of people talk about that when they try to hit a passing shot down the line, just trying to keep you honest. So there's a lot of reasons we might go down the line. Now, the first thing we'll do is look at the deuce court here. So when we're in the deuce court, we're probably going to be hitting a forehand if we're a right-handed player, and we're hitting it to the opponent's backhand. So for that reason, we don't have to go for an all-out winner here. Unless you're at maybe a really high-level 4-5 or a 5-0 player, and they have super strong backhand volleys. For the most part, if you've got a pretty good forehand, you can just hit it at their backhand volley, try to get it low at their feet maybe, and they're going to miss or they'll pop up a ball to allow you to move forward and finish the point off. So what I like to do a lot of times if I'm in the deuce court here going down the line is rather than go for the all-out winner into the doubles alley, aim at the singles line here. It's a lot higher margin shot. Your make percentage is going to be higher, and you'll still win the vast majority of those points because most people don't have a super strong backhand volley. So next, let's take a look at the ad court here. This is where I usually return from. So if we're going down the line here, we've got a backhand. I'm going to delete that for a second. So we've got a backhand. So personally, I can't hit my backhand down the line. I don't know very many people at the 4-5 level and below who are really confident with that shot. So generally from the ad side, we want to hit down the line less than we would from the deuce side. The exception to that is if we do have a weak short ball that we can run around or something like that, which I'll get into in a second. But when we're hitting down the line here, they have a forehand volley on the other side of the net. So they're going to be able to reach a lot more, and they're going to have a more confident, better volley because most people, again, have a better forehand than backhand volley. So when we're hitting down the line on the ad side, we actually probably do need to go for the full winner, or at least be able to dip it real low into the doubles alley so that they have to kind of pop one up and it's a real difficult volley. So for that reason, I don't like to go down the line quite as much on the ad side because they have a forehand volley. Instead, what I recommend is actually hitting it right here and make them stab at a backhand volley. If they don't hit it, then it comes through here to the back player's backhand. So then that's how you're really controlling the middle of the court there. So if you can hit a really good shot right here over the center net strap or a little to the left of it, that's typically a really good play there from the ad court. So next we'll cover when to go down the line. So when should we do this? So there's a few times that we might want to do this. One is going to be, just if we're targeting the net player because they're simply the weaker player. Typically, it will be with a short ball. So if you have something up here around the service line that you can come in and hit, that's going to make it a lot easier. If you have a ball, way back behind the baseline, obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult shot. So you're probably not going to be going down the line there because they're going to have so much more time to recover. Another instance where we might want to go down the line is if the other team just seems to be a little better than us. So I've talked about this before, but if you feel like you are the stronger team, then you should be able to really control the center of the court here. And by doing that, you're going to win most matches. And there's no reason to take any high-risk shots like going down the line. But if the other team's a little bit stronger and you feel like they're controlling the center here, maybe this person's poaching a lot, this person's serving and volleying and coming in, and they're really controlling the middle of the court here, and your shots down the middle are getting taken advantage of, then maybe you do need to go down the line at that point. That's something to consider there. Another opportunity is on the ad side especially, which is where I usually return from. If they have a weak second serve and you haven't done it in a while, I do like to step in, run around a forehand, and hit an inside-in forehand. And in this case, you're really going for an all-out winner down the line here. So I would say probably I do that once a set at the most. So it's not very often that I'll do that, but every now and then, if I'm feeling confident, if our team's up big in a game or in the set, I'll do that and step around a forehand and go down the line there. On the deuce side, especially, one of the best times to go down the line is if they take you really wide. So if they take you way out here, which is not a good strategy on their part, and I've talked about that in previous lessons about why hitting an angle is not a good strategy unless you can hit a winner. But they'll have to come over here and cover the alley. So if they don't do that, it's a pretty easy shot to hit down the line into this area. So that might be another opportunity when you can actually go down the line. You can kind of beat them around the net post here. So that would be the other opportunity. Also, just kind of anything in short in the deuce court that you can take at the backhand volley could be a decent opportunity as well. But again, in general, going down the line is really just not the smartest play. What you want to do is really, again, control the center of the court. It's the lowest part of the net. Hitting cross court, you have more room to miss because you can miss wide. You have a little bit more room to miss wide. You have a little bit more room to miss long, and so on. And the other thing to keep in mind is when you're hitting down the line, you really need to end the point. So if you're in control of a point, there's no reason to go down the line unless you're going to end the point and you're going to hit an all-out winner. And the reason for that is you saw that cone I had earlier at the beginning of the video. You are opening up their opportunity to go right between you and end the point. So what's going to happen is either you'll hit a winner, so that's 1 point. You'll miss, that's a point for them, or they'll hit a volley that can go right in between you, and that's a point for them too. So really 1 out of 3 of those opportunities are a good play. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions on it, or if you have a specific scenario of like, hey Will, what about in this scenario, is it okay to go down the line here? Definitely comment below or shoot me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and I will talk to you next week.